Don't miss easy 691 eye level gear. That's right, boys and girls. Season 3 is now live, which means you are gearing out. You are doing your Mythic Plus. You are doing your Raid. You are doing your Delves. Probably not PvP, because who still does that in this game? But anyways, this is the easiest way to gear out, get some quick 691 gear this week. Let's see what Kalani has to say.
Hey folks, this is Kalani. Season 3 of The War Within is now live, which means we have a whole bunch of ways to gear up and a lot more content to take part in. There are some quests that you want to do as soon as possible to unlock more content options, and there are some rewards that you should wait on to maximize their impact.
Ooh.
There are also a few ways to get some very easy item level 691 pieces of gear this week, which you definitely...
He's got to clear out his bags. Jesus, what's going on here?
Won't want to miss. So let's go over everything you should do first in Season 3 of The War Within.
I'm excited to open my
Now
bowl.
before we jump in, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe so you never miss another video. With Season 3 now live, you should be able to continue the questline for the patch 11.2 main story campaign. Not only will this progress...
I have not seen any of this yet. I'm going to get in right now and do the campaign, but I don't know what you guys think about it so far. No, don't give me spoilers, but I'm excited to see some of the new cutscenes.
Story, so you know what's going on and you get to see how everything unfolds, but it also sets the stage for the raid and dungeon as well. This is the last patch of the expansion, so we're also going to see some epilogue quests that lead us into the Midnight expansion.
Exciting.
You'll also be able to pick up the quest to defeat Dimensius in the Manaforge Omega raid, which will reward you with an enchanted runed crest, which can be used to upgrade Spark crafted gear to item level 704. Even if you don't plan on clearing the raid this week, or even at all on normal or heroic difficulty, this quest will eventually be completable in LFR difficulty, that boss should open up in a couple of weeks, or in story mode, which will be available next week on August 19th.
Wow, that's going to be a big reason actually to do story mode. I forgot about that. Story mode opening up. I mean, if you haven't cleared normal by then, go in and do story mode to complete the quest. He's right. That's a good one. By the way, this whole story leading up to the Midnight expansion, it does feel like this entire patch is a pre-patch to Midnight. It really does. This whole thing feels like we're not in the War Within anymore. I don't know about you guys, but now since I've gone to Koresh, I feel like I've already started playing Midnight at this point. It does feel like Dornagal is far away, like that was a long time ago. So I feel like this is the first Metzen kind of patch coming in, and we're going to get a bunch more good story. So far, I like the story more than anything we've seen in the War Within. So maybe that's a good thing, maybe, to head into Midnight.
So you can still get this quest completed and get the Enchanted Crest reward without actually doing the entire raid. You just have to wait an extra week. Another new content option we have access to this week is the Ecological Succession feature in Koresh. We were supposed to get this last week according to the initial content preview, but you should see a new important quest in Tazavesh called the Oasis. That quest is the starting point for the Ecological Succession questline. That's going to take you over to Venari's Oasis, where she is trying to create a thriving ecosystem. Work your way through all of Venari's quests up until you start seeing these blue weekly quests. The weekly quests themselves are decently rewarding. You can get weathered crests, carved crests, valor stones, and a bunch of Koresh Trust reputation for completing them. But the main thing you want is to unlock the Ecological Succession weekly quest on your world map. This is going to offer you another weekly cache, which can contain gear, upgrading materials, and a restored copper key. To complete it, you just have to complete activities.
This is the quest line that's going to take you into upgrading the Eco Dome with Venari. I was wondering when we were going to start doing that, so that's what this is. This is going to be your weekly upgrade the Eco Dome, get a cache. Got it.
Relating to the Oasis, like those weekly quests from earlier, and taking part in Devour events and returning anima to the Oasis. Now, if you took the time to fill up your Great Vault last week, you should open that relatively early in the week as well, just to see what RNG has blessed you with. Now, depending on what options you have and what kinds of content you expect to clear, I would probably wait to actually choose something. We're right at the beginning of Season 3, so this is arguably the time where you will...
He's right, you could wait to choose if you're going to go into Raid, but honestly what I do a lot of times is I look, okay, where do my shoulders drop? If my shoulders are dropping on the second to last boss, or they're dropping off of Dimensius or something, I'll probably take that because I'll be like, well, what are the odds that I get that cleared on heroic item level by this week or something, whatever. So I'll look at that stuff and I'm impatient. I don't want to leave it waiting. I'll be honest, especially this first week. So I'm probably going to take something, and I'll take whatever's deeper in the raid. I'll probably take that piece of gear first.
upgrade your gear the fastest. It's no good picking up a chest piece if you end up looting the chest tier token from the raid, or a higher item level chest piece from running Mythic Plus dungeons, so I would probably wait until you've done most of your other gearing activities for the week. If you're only doing delves, for example, wait until you've spent all of your restored coffer keys. If you're planning on progressing through the raid, pick an item after your scheduled raid nights are done. You'll want to wait almost as long as possible, or at least until you're sure you won't get gear from any other sources. This is especially true for tier gear, because there are a few other ways to get tier gear in this season. One of those ways is the Catalyst. We have our first Catalyst charge this week, so you can swing by the Catalyst in Donegal and start converting your seasonal gear into tier set gear. This is also something I would probably wait on, depending on the kind of content you like to take part in. Again, I always treat the Catalyst charges as a wildcard token. You can essentially get any tier piece you want as long as you have a piece of gear to convert. So if you happen to get a tier token or two from the raid, even if it's just LFR mode, or you get lucky in your vault and get a piece of tier gear there, it's actually very feasible to get your...
Has anyone looted tier gear from their vault this week? Because I did see some people did get it. Some people already got tier before they entered raid or anything. They just got it from their vault. So I guess that's possible.
Full 4-set bonus
I haven't seen it yet. I haven't opened mine yet.
If you get lucky, and hold on to things like your Catalyst charges until you can create your 2-set or 4-set bonus. Personally, I also think it's only worth converting hero gear or higher, as that will give you a good amount of upgrade value out of each piece. It never feels good being stuck with a piece of veteran or champion tier gear while you're getting higher item level drops, but you can't use them due to the set bonuses. Delves can offer you 2 pieces of hero gear per week, and hero gear is endlessly farmable in Mythic Plus. And of course, any piece of gear from your weekly vault can also be used in the Catalyst as well, so it's always worth waiting and considering all of your options to get the maximum value out of your limited resources. We'll be getting 1 extra charge every 2 weeks, so even if you don't get lucky, you can eventually get your full 4-set bonus just through the Catalyst if you wait long enough.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, I guess you could technically get tier gear before ever entering the raid, right? Cam Shady says he already has a 2-set. I mean, yeah, if you get a piece of tier from your vault, and then you have the Catalyst to change another piece of gear, boom, you got 2-set, and you never even stepped foot in the vault yet.
You can also upgrade your Cloak again this week, which brings it up to item level 714, and it will unlock a mount while phase diving, and you can find special orbs that give you a stat boost. But the main thing we're interested in is that increased item level. You'll need to pick up 3 ethereal strands to get that next talent unlocked, but as long as you're taking part in endgame content, they should be fairly quick and easy to acquire. Ethereal strands can drop from delves, mythic dungeons, mythic plus dungeons, PvP matches, the Manaforge Omega raid, and completing warrants. So basically every kind of endgame content in Season 3, and you only need 3 per upgrade, so getting them should be super fast. Now, there are also some very important changes to Delves this season that you should be aware of. To start with, the Delver's Bounty map that gives you access to even higher item level rewards from Delves is not available right away. You actually have to unlock that drop in your Delves seasonal journey.
We talked about it this morning, yeah. So, I mean, people who really want to dig into Delves, you got to get up to that rank 2, and then you could start to get your maps, and you're going to get 1 map per week. So just grind it out and get that map. And then don't use that map until you're at your highest rank delve possible.
This is going to be the second reward from the seasonal journey, and each reward node requires 4,200 progress to unlock. So it's going to take a little bit of farming to get your bounty maps this season. You should get a quest after completing your first delve of the week to hand in a key to the Delver's headquarters, and that's going to reward you with 1,500 seasonal journey progress. You can only complete this quest once per week per account, and that's the only real easy source of progress right now. The only other way to gain seasonal progress right now seems to be from completing bountiful delves and opening the locked coffer at the end. This means you have to spend a key to get your seasonal progress. Just running delves isn't enough anymore. You have to also use a restored coffer key to open a bountiful coffer. You used to get some progress from clearing a delve and then more from opening the bountiful coffer, but they seem to have changed it in Season 3.
Did they change that? I thought we just looked at it this morning, and they were still offering experience or whatever points towards your bar by just completing up to a tier 8 delve. This is wrong then. We were just looking at this shit. Delver's Bounty right here. 150 Delver's Journey for completing a Tier 8 Bountiful Delve. Grants you 150. I don't know who's right here then. I don't know if anybody's done it yet. Have you gotten any? I guess say it in the chat. But right now Kalani's saying this is not the case anymore. Interesting.
Going to slow down your progress quite significantly.
This will take a little while,
I'm not entirely sure if it's intended. With those being our only sources though, it looks like you'll need to spend a lot of keys to reach that reward milestone. The most progress you can get per key is 300, which requires you to complete a tier 11 bountiful delve, which isn't the easiest thing to do in this first week. Now, if you have any alts, you can speed things up a bit. Your Delve seasonal progress is account-wide, and each character can contribute with their own restored coffer keys and bountiful Delve lockouts. So the more alts you have, and the more bountiful Delves you run on them, the faster this process will be. But if you only play one character, you are going to be waiting quite a while to start getting these bounty maps unless something changes. It's also important to note that Kaiveza won't drop a Delver's Bounty map until you've unlocked that reward, so don't use your Shrieking Quartz items until you've already unlocked the ability to get your maps, and don't be surprised when Kaiveza invades your delve but still doesn't drop a bounty map. There's another unlock that I want to highlight in this seasonal progress. The third reward on the seasonal track opens up a new vendor that will appear at the end of any tier 9 or higher delve that you complete. This vendor will sell all season 3 delve trinkets at item level 681, so they're on the champion gear track. That's not as ideal as getting those items on the hero track, but you'll be able to buy exactly what you want, which is always nice. So if one of your best trinkets comes from delves this season, you'll be able to buy it for 2,000 undercoins from this vendor after you progress far enough into the seasonal journey track. This is also going to be a great way to pick up trinkets on your alts.
This is a new thing though, right? Because I've always felt like undercoin. I always have it at the end of the season. What am I going to spend it on? There's a bunch of cosmetic stuff. I'll just spend it, I guess. But I never really had like an important reason to do so. Now this guy rotates trinkets. Just remember that too. So every week he has a different set of trinkets. He's got a rotation. I don't know how long it takes him to get through it, but he always does it. Yeah, except it rotates. Yeah, exactly. Why would anyone only play one character? Because I am Samiccus and Samiccus is I. So that he's me and I'm him. I don't play anything else. But this is a good one to spend undercoin on, I guess.
Because the undercoin currency is warband transferable, so you just need to unlock the vendor, send some undercoins to your alts, and clear a tier 9 delve, and then you should be able to buy 2 trinkets right away. Don't forget to kill the world boss again this week as well. I know the loot can be quite frustrating with it not being guaranteed to be useful for your character, but there is always the chance you get that one piece that is useful, and it's a very high item level reward for the amount of effort involved. You can also save up your warbound gear to make gearing up your alts much faster later on, so that gear can still be useful. If you had a hard time with the world boss in the first week of the patch, you'll be glad to know that his health has been reduced, and the overall difficulty of the world boss has been nerfed as well. So killing the world boss shouldn't take quite as long as last week, and hopefully you won't die quite as often. This week is also Wrath of the Lich King.
Question: was it necessary for Blizzard to nerf the boss? Like, we're the most undergeared we're going to be for this entire season right now. I kind of feel like people cried a bit too much about the world boss because he got nerfed, and now we're going to get more powerful, exponentially more powerful, especially once we get 4-set bonuses and everything else. This guy is going to get nuked down. So they kind of took away, any sense of the fight with this nerf, really. I mean, in the coming weeks, this guy's just going to be like, poke him and he dies. Yeah, it's a dog shit fight, except, I guess people didn't like the fight. I just did the fight. It wasn't too bad. I mean, I guess I did it post-nerfs. But, he's flying back and forth. He does his breath and everything else. I don't know. I feel like people got a bit too... it's really the lag that I think was pissing people off, but I feel like people got a bit too they overreacted a bit to the boss fight.
Time walking, so there are some huge gear upgrades that you can pick up, and they're much easier to acquire when compared to normal gearing methods. The weekly quest will reward you with a piece of item level 681 gear, and all you have to do is clear 5 time walking dungeons or kill 5 bosses in the time walking raid. Now while the box says 681, you can actually get any item from the raid on normal difficulty, and those rewards scale all the way up to 691, so if you're lucky you could get a much better item from this box. The Ulduar Time Walking raid can take a bit of time to work through with it being so large, but it's definitely worth the time investment. Each boss can drop item level 681 gear, which is kind of crazy when you consider how easy this raid is, and there's also a weekly quest for you to pick up which basically just requires you to clear the Time Walking raid, and that rewards you with a piece of 691 gear guaranteed, which is huge for the very first week of the season.
That's actually, yeah, that is huge. So we got to do Time Walking then. I mean, get a piece of 691 gear out of this thing. These Time Walking raids, usually we just complete them in like an hour.
Guaranteed, which is huge for the very first week of the season, unless of course you get a cloak. But maybe you'll be luckier than I am. So that's 2
Damn it, Ulduar is the one that takes a bit longer.
Guaranteed pieces of item level 681 to 691 gear, and however much loot you get from running the raid itself.
Yeah.
So be sure you take part in Time Walking this week if you want some easy gear. With the start of the new season, pretty much every endgame content option is now fully available, so you can jump into the Mana Forger Mega Raid to start earning some awesome loot and grinding reputation with the new Raid Renown faction. LFR is also open this week, so you have a wing to just queue into and get some loot. You can also jump into Mythic Plus Keystone Dungeons and take on the Tazavesh Mega Dungeon on hard mode for some shiny loot, and you can start running bountiful delves and opening those big loot chests with your restored coffer keys. So good luck with your seasonal adventures, and I hope you get some very shiny loot. But that's everything we would recommend you get done first in Season 3 of The War Within, so that's it for this video. What are you going to be working on first in the new season, and what are you most excited to learn about the Midnight expansion in the coming weeks? Leave all your thoughts in the comments section below. A big thank you to all of our supporters over on Patreon and to all of our members here on YouTube. You can see the names floating by on screen. If you're interested in supporting the channel, you can find links in the description, or click the join button just below the video. If you enjoyed the video or found it useful in any way, make sure to subscribe and ring that notification bell so you're always kept up to date. Thanks for watching, folks. Good luck and have fun, and as always, I will see you next time.
Nice video from Kalani. Good comprehensive look at all the ways you can get gear. The Aldani, the dome. Ranking out the dome, I forgot about that. Yeah, gearing that thing out and making sure that you do the quest every week. That's a good one. And then, yeah, how you do your vault and everything else. All that is good ways to gear out this week. Nice video from Kalani.